Hello, welcome back to March's Planning Mess. I have a little bit of a weekly review and just update on where I am in my planning process this year. I just was hired for a job, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do planner-wise for my job. I'm going to be an administrative assistant at my kids' school. Well, the school that they have been at. They're moving on to a different school. Anyway, I knew I wanted something with a vertical layout, and I had last year, thinking I might move into a position in the fall, bought an undated planner from Amazon. I think it's the Passion Planner. And at the time, I did not realize that Sterling Ink made a B5. It didn't even register to me that was an option, and that was the size that I wanted. So I had bought that, and I had put just basically my days of the week, not actual dates into it. I had bought Sterling Ink stickers for it, because I wasn't sure when the next job would start, etc. And anyway, I wasn't quite sure what to do with it. So this week is when I start. I actually start on Tuesday. And so today was like the day to set up the planner and get it ready for work. So I did. I went up and I got it out. And I also had bought this. This is an B5. It's like a cover for a planner cover. And I'm trying to find the name of the company. It comes with this notebook. Let's see if I can find a name on it. I got it on Amazon. You can get it also in A5. Okay. Kokuyo is the name. And it's kind of nice because it's got room for actually 3 things. So you could technically slide a thin notebook in here, lift it up. Right now I'm using it to kind of hold stickers, but anyway, it's got a place so if you had a separate notebook in here, then you could open this up and get to the third one. So it just gives you some flexibility on how you want to do your planning system. And I had picked this up thinking at some point in my life this might be helpful as a daily to-do list is undated. So I think this might work well for tasks or events when I have crazy things I have to keep track of outside of the norm. So I had thought, okay, I'll use these two, this and the Passion Planner, to keep up with things. So today I sat down to set up the Passion Planner with all the stickers, and I just couldn't. It's really helpful if you're somebody that needs to set out goals in your life and maybe use that to inspire you to have goals that you didn't have before. So anyway, I got the month in, I got the first week in, and it's no, the layout's just not going to work. So pulled all the stickers off, stuck them back on. So it's going to get donated to our local donation pickup center, and someone will enjoy 6 months of a Passion Planner, and they'll even have the stickers from Sterling Ink that I stuck in the back pocket for them. But I am not going to be able to use that. It's just not going to work for me. And part of it is I really want both a horizontal and a vertical layout. I think I need space, daily space that has a date assigned to it. So I just opened up my computer and ordered a B5 Sterling Ink academic year, which is what I need. And I ordered a clear cover, and I ordered some of the pencil boards to go on the 2 outside covers, so it's cute, kind of like I've done here with this one. And that's what's going to work for me. And I'm kind of excited about it because I'm going to use it. I got a vertical. You can get both in that size, academic year size. But I think I ordered some daily washi stickers from Amazon. I use those a lot in many things. In fact, I have them in the back of here. Let's see, in the daily section. So they look like this, and they're very thin, so they don't bulk up your planner. So my thought is I'm going to give myself either a half page or full page for every day for to-do lists or notes for my job. Probably start off with a daily page, just at least for the first month, to see, do I really need that much space? I mean, they've got their washi, you can move them around if you need to. So this will either be horizontal or just a big block daily page where I can write things down. but I'll have my weekly be vertical. It's the exact same layout as this one. And I don't know if I'll put trackers here or if I'll have more trackers in these early sections here where you've got your quarterly pages. There's certain things I want to keep track of in there that are work related. So this will give you room for several. And because it's a B5, this is a B6. So it would be this size. Woohoo, I'm excited about that much space. Anyway, it will give me a lot of places to track things. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to set that up yet because I'm not quite sure exactly what the job will entail, although I have worked the job before in the past. So I'm looking forward to that. So in my order, I ordered one more of these. So the back of my B6 can have something pretty on it. So for those of you that have been watching the channel, I have been struggling with what to do. I had originally ordered an N2 vertical, which I have here. This is a Hobonichi Weeks cover that I just think is adorable. And I used it about a third of the year. I used it through March, and then by April, I was overwhelmed and tried some other things. But my intention was always to come back to it. I didn't have enough pages in the back, which is kind of my reasoning for leaving it behind. So my intention was always to come back to it, but I wasn't sure if, when, how, why it was going to happen. So I've been using other things, exploring other layouts, because I really want to be more consistent next year. This is more of a research and exploration year. So I'm just allowing myself to make a mess of things, hence the name of the channel. But what I was thinking was, we're a small community, and yes, my job will be kind of like a 7 to 3 job, but I'm going to have parents contacting me at all hours wanting to do things, and there's no central location. It's not like they can only contact me through the school email that I can check on my phone or check when I get to work the next day. And so I really felt like I kind of wanted to carry a small planner just for like the notes that I need to make about after hours information that's going to come in. So I just thought, hey, maybe I'll just commit to using this B6 for the rest of the year. Or I could go back to my A6 if I get annoyed with it, but I'm really liking what I've set up in here. And just use this. It's small, it's light, it's easy to carry. That's why I bought it. It was very portable. And I'll just use this. I've got enough for a page a day for the last 6 months of the year. So maybe that's what I'll do, is I'll just do a page a day in here. And I will finish out this planner. And then as my work. And if it gets if it's redundant, like I'm not going to do weekly planning. I'm not going to double plan. So the weekly pages will kind of be empty unless I want to fill them out somehow, but I'm not going to commit to doing that. I don't need any more planner work for myself because I don't want it to ever feel like work. I want it to be fun. But this will just be something easy that can go in my bag with this one. And if this is too bulky, I've got thinner cases for it. I just love this. It's like having a wallet. Maybe I'll just move my wallet into this to make room in my bag. That's also an option. But anyway, this is going to be what I carry around so work and personal doesn't get mixed up. So all that being said, let's look at how I've got this month and this next week set up in my B6. So, like I said, I'm very excited about moving into this. It's working really well. Okay, so I haven't yet done my quarterly layouts. I did go ahead and pull out my Hobonichi cousin that I used last 6 months, from July to December of last year. And I really liked how I had set up they don't have quarterly pages, but you have these like tracker pages. And like this one, it was just kind of using it like a future planning calendar. And here's like a sleep average graph. But I was tracking like health things here. And so I'm going to see if those will fit into my B6. So I've got this here. When I get off of this video, I'll update the quarterly section of here so I can track things in there. We'll see if I can keep up with it. I did really good with the trackers in the cousin, and I haven't here, and maybe it's because last year all I had was a cousin. It was one book. It did everything for me. except for my financial trackers. And this year I just have so many different ones, and as much as I like that, I'm realizing it's too much to keep up with. So I'm kind of hoping this is like a testing time. Can I get it, or at least a lot of it, to fit into here? Okay, so that is the beginning part of the book. Okay, I've got my calendar in. I went through and put all of my work dates in. Like I've got my office hours. It's very little hours in the summertime. And the trips I've got planned, I've got all that in for the rest of the year. And my kids' schedule in here because this is a personal one. And then let's go to the weekly section. So here's my first weekly spread. And I've shown this in another video in more detail, but I've got more things filled in. So this will be a mood tracker area, and I need to redo this sticker. This is what was working well in my A6, and it's just one box. Like, it's the same amount of space, but they had an extra grid box. You can see those don't quite line up. So I think I might get rid of my blah mood tracker and just combine them to having these. So I'll redo this sticker so it can move from space to space. And in my other planner, I had room to mark the weather and also my workouts along the side. And I don't have room for that here, but I've got my weather up top. You can see my little icon and the high and low. And then down here at the bottom, I've got my tracker for if I took my vitamins, if I did strength or cardio. And then I'm taking a new prescription twice a day, and I struggled to keep up with that. So this will help me get on my vitamins and my meds a little bit better. I added those later because they just got added to my meds this month. So here I've got my workouts planned. Those I do first thing in the morning. I'm not working Monday, but I am actually going to the school to clean up all my volunteer stuff that I've done over the years. My daughter has a doctor's appointment, and then I've got my to-dos at the bottom, and that was kind of like, will I be able to make it work? And look at that. That's all my to-dos so far for the day, and I still have only barely used half the space. So I think it's going to work well. These are my my recurring to-dos that I leave on Post-its, and as I write them down here, I move the Post-it to the next week. So that's kind of what my schedule's like. I've got 3 days of work. I've got a first aid class to attend. Then we're going camping over 4th of July, so I've got that blocked off. And I was afraid my daughter and I are going on tour. This was planned before I got the job, out of state to our church's general conference convention. And so we're touring with her school and the choir and orchestra. And so I am going on that trip with her. So I wanted to block out everything we got from the schedule that they made so far. And I was thinking I had to leave on Sunday to get there in time, but they're actually meeting Monday evening. So Sunday I can finish my camping trip and not have to leave first thing in the morning. That was stressing me just a little bit. So this is working really well. With this space, I haven't really gone too far forward. You can see I've moved my sticky notes, the ones I've put into the planner. And then, so here's something I had made up for my air filter changing. I know you're supposed to change them once a month, but I'll pull it out once a month and it doesn't really look used. So I'm kind of on a every 3 months schedule. So that's just there to remind me to do it. August 5 is my next filter change. And then I've got a trip this week, a vacation, which I won't be able to do all of it because, again, school at my job will be starting. So I maybe will just take the first 2 days of that trip and then come back the next 3. So here's some things I want to do on the trip. It says kayaking trip. I don't kayak, but my husband and daughter and a friend's family do. So my other daughter and I usually find fun projects to do while we're there at the Airbnb and make food for them when they come back, and we have a nice relaxing time, and they go out and do daredevil stuff. So it works quite well. So I'm looking forward to using this, and then I already showed you the back. So tomorrow I will start Tuesday, because July 1 is on Tuesday. I will start journaling in here. Maybe I should have put the end of June just so I could I don't know what the word I'm trying to look for is, just so I could have everything in here, but whatever. I have my paper tests, B6, that ended up just being too big, and so I've been just using that exclusively for journaling, and so I really want to kind of keep that book full. So I don't know if I'll consistently journal in this one, if I'll just finish out the year in paper tests, or if it'll just make sense to finish out the year in here. I don't know. And I'm going to try not to feel bad about wasting the paper tests, because there's part of me that feels bad about it, because I really thought I could make it work. It would have held everything, but it was so big, so heavy, that I just couldn't see myself carrying it around. So, you know what? You live and you learn, and I just need to let that go. So we'll see. As we go along in this journey, I'll find out how I've decided to change. There's my washi stickers, the daily ones. I get these from Amazon. They're great. They have different shapes. I went ahead and ordered a different sticker shape set for the B5 that I just ordered. So I'm curious if I'll like those. I just really like the square design. So I usually have several of these on hand because I find them useful for several different kinds of planners I have. But that's kind of where we're at in this process. I will do an unboxing with the B5 when it comes later this week. Hopefully it'll come this week. Maybe it might be next week while I'm on my trip. So it might take a while before I check in again. I probably won't check in much over my trip because I'll use my planner, but not like I normally do, because I'm like a chaperone on the trip. I don't have to make plans or plan anything. I just have to show up when I'm told. So I will take this with me, but I may not use it much during that trip. So there may not be anything worth talking about in that video. But anyway, this is how this is going, and hope you all have a wonderful week. Enjoy all of your planning time.